Lakers lose on New Year's Eve to the best team in the league, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have now won 8 in a row. They're 9-0 against the West. And it just felt like every single time the Lakers would get back in this game and be within striking distance, because the effort was there, the Cavs would go on a run. They went on a 12-2 run with Max Strus hitting 3 threes in the middle of the third. Lakers got right back in it. They go on an 8-0 run, the final minute, 22 of the third. James, 9 of 10 shots they hit from the end of that third into the middle of that fourth were all three-pointers. They're the best shooting team in the league for a reason, and now they're 29-4.
Yeah, I mean, it's the difference between a team that's grooming the Lakers, playing, their defense has gotten better over the last 5 or 6 games. They've made some changes. The difference between a team that's grooming and a team that's well-groomed. Cleveland is well-groomed. They react automatically. They have players in every position that's a threat. Their secondary offense is pretty good where they get offensive rebounds with Mobley shooting threes now and Allen, just operating in the paint. Then when you got, guys like Garland on the outside, Dean shooting threes, I give them credit. Yep. The Lakers didn't play horrible. They didn't play horrible. They didn't capitalize on some things, but Cleveland is just a well-groomed team. You don't come in here dominating the entire West unless you're, pretty serious and solid team.
When you look at losses like this one, it's not hurt. It doesn't hurt like most losses because if you look at the way the Cleveland Cavaliers move the basketball, they were phenomenal. It's almost like at one point they said, you know what, we turn the ball over too much. Let's get tighter with it, make the correct passes, because it seems like in the second half, everything they did was right. I don't think they had many mistakes in that second half. Think about it. You get them in a good position where you could trap them, somehow they'll find Jarrett, they'll find Strus, they'll find these guys for threes, they'll find LeVert. All these things kind of went the way for them. And I think the other thing you have to look at, the Lakers tried to, integrate 2 new guys. And so even with that, they still played good. So this is one of those losses where you just have to tip your hat to the better team.
So true. And when you want to boil this down this game even more, Lakers didn't shoot the ball well. 25% from 3. They had great looks, timely looks. They just didn't knock them down. They were 9 for 35. Look at the other side, 18 of 46. Big game, James. So they shoot 40% from 3, plus 27 for the Cavs from 3. 7 different guys hit threes, 5 with multiple threes. That's the difference as well, right there.
And I believe 32 points off the Cleveland bench as well, compared to the Lakers' 12. So not only are their starters well-groomed, the bench is well-groomed, and it also tells you the nature of the game. I mean, you can play as well as the Lakers played, but if you're not knocking down the 3 ball in today's game, it's going to cost you, especially if Cleveland, the other team, is knocking them down.
Yeah. And you think about Max Strus. Max Strus has been a star in this league for a long time, going from the Miami Heat. Now you go over here to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's really good from the bench because you think you got Darius Garland, you got Spider, they penetrate, and you got shooters all around you. And I think also, you look at this team, Karis LeVert has been one of those guys that's been, everybody always look at what you do on the point side. He's a good guy who plays good defense, but overall, I still like the way the Lakers play. They play good, and this is a stepping stone, I think, from they can just take this and learn from it. And I'm not worried about the 3-point shooting because I still think if you look at Austin Reeves had 35 tonight, and then you had 2 other guys with 20-plus points. The scoring is there. It's just you got beat by a better team.
Yeah, I mean, defended at times pretty well. I mean, they were hustling. That rebounding was pretty even. Like I said, it felt like almost one of those tip-your-cap kind of games because the Lakers did play hard. They just didn't knock the shots down when they needed to. And listen, I think back to that third quarter. I think we were talking about it, Rob and James, when we were watching the game together. I think it's 65-63 or something. Lakers are right there mid-third. Yeah. AD gets a block. Ball goes out of bounds. They get an offensive rebound. Strus hits 3. He then hits 3 threes in a row, and now they're down 11. And it just felt like that was what was happening a lot tonight. Like, right back in it. Down 1, tie game, down 2, back up 10.
Yeah, and, credit to Cleveland. They made the trade. They got the coach they wanted. They're well-groomed, and Gator, they're serious this year. They know that Boston's over there in the East, along with Milwaukee and, Philly perhaps. But this team, the Lakers, I think they learned something tonight. Sometimes you learn from losing to really good teams. Like, you sleep okay because, it was I hate moral anything moral coming out of a loss, but you can take something good out of this. And I think the one thing you take about is you can't make mistakes. How they move the ball, how unselfish they are, how connected they are. So that's what you take away from it.
To me, they kind of had two-headed monsters as well. You got the guards, right, and Garland and Mitchell. And Mitchell was what? He had 26 tonight, Garland 14. Then you have the two bigs, and Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, they combined for 47. So if you take their big three, that's 73 points right there. And then Garland and Strus are adding another 29 points. So a lot of scoring. That's why they're the number one offense in the league. And guys, Jared Allen, in these two games against the Lakers, he has absolutely been fantastic. Big game.
He's a scavenger. He's a scavenger. Like the guy that he's going to get everything that's left right there, running the floor. That's all. Just simple basketball. Over the top. Allen knows where to put himself on the floor to get, offensive rebounds, little pocket passes. He's just not floating around. He tries to get to a certain spot because he knows what Donovan is doing. He knows what Garland is doing, so he kind of knows where he needs to be. That's why he gets a lot of those cleanup buckets, tip ins, and, soft passes underneath.
It boils down to do what you do best when it comes to him. He knows the two things he can do is block shots and hang around the basket because everybody thinks the dude can't score. He doesn't have to score. He has Spider. He has Garland. But when those guys penetrate and you says, okay, I'm going to forget about Allen, this is what happened. He gets 20-plus points a game. And there's so many times where, guys in this league don't understand. There's a thing called a V-back. I don't know what they call it now, but we used to call it a V-back. Once you get beat, you got a shot blocker like 80, you go directly to that big and you push him out of bounds. There was like 4 or 5 moments there where the guys were still like, oh, I can catch him. No, you can't. Go to the big and push him out. That will eliminate 10 to 12 points.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think when you go look at a film session like this, you can say, look, AD is going to cover you. Just V-back, get to his man so he can't score because that's how Allen got all his buckets tonight.
What'd you guys think of Donovan Mitchell watching him with this team? It just felt like it's almost his time, right? He's came in as a star, wowed everybody in Utah, gets traded over to Cleveland, coaching change, but he looks like he's ready to lead this team. Big game to me.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
He got the trade, he got the coach. I don't know if he threatened to leave but he had that opportunity. But now he's putting up. He's putting up, and he's shutting up and he's putting up and he's got a great group around him. And he knows it. And Donovan he's a freak of nature, man. This guy he's big, he got big hands, big feet. He's very solid. The way he was knocking down threes tonight looked like free throws.